Hey, this is Marvin Preaching Sense back at you all with another video. I just thought I'd go over some good fresh type fragrances that you all could, get your nose on in the summer, and some of them, you could wear throughout the year. They're blue, mass appealing type fragrances. Some of them are a little bit more on the mallier type vibe, but those are ones that tend to work in the summer. So let's talk about it. Starting off with this first one by Afnan. This is, let me put the cap back on. This is Supremacy in Heaven, right here. So you see this bottle right here, and this one right here is that Creed Silver Mountain Water, I believe, that kind of vibe. That's what this is cloning, and it has a nice. This one's more of a this is fresh, but it also has a lot of fruitiness to it in terms of with the orange, open up with that orange and bergamot combo. And then it has a nice black currant accord in there and some green tea. So you're going to get a little bit of greenness in there. Not a sandalwood and musk as it dries down. So this is a fresh one, but definitely has a little bit of a fruitiness to it, and some creaminess from the sandalwood and the musk as it dries down. All these are fragrances, almost all of them are going to be affordable. I'm not going to talk so much about the price because all of them should be $40 in that range or under, right? Some are really cheap. So this is a good one to get your nose on. If you don't want to pay the price tag for the Silver Mountain Water, get your nose on that one. Next one on the list here, and this one is by Salvatore Ferragamo. This is Aqua Blue, or I should say Essenziale Blue. And this right here, this is your typical blue fragrance, but this one has a little bit of a sparkle to it. It opens up with this lemon bergamot type of thing, but you're gonna get this nice cardamom. Really good cardamom. Really comes through strong. That something warm baking in the oven, and the lavender comes through. That always, I love lavender. You'll get some green nuances to it. I believe there is some type of cypriol oil or some type of accord like that. But as it dries down, which really separates this blue fragrance, is that tonka bean, which gives you that nice warmth from the tonka. Little hints of benzoin and stuff as it dries down. Really good fragrance to get your nose on. Affordable. You're gonna smell good with fragrances like these. So get your nose on that. Then we're gonna go to, and I hate to list this one because it's hard to find and it's been discontinued. Shan John 3 a.m. I apologize even for listing it because it's one that's hard to find. But if you can find it, some reason that it's still at a rack store or something like that, grab it, because now people are trying to overcharge $150 for it when I got it, it was like, I don't know, $30 or something in that range, right? And it is that bergamot and orange opening, has some of that cardamom in here as well, and it has a nice get a wateriness to it, kind of a fresh watery feel, and then some leather nuance that will come and kind of surprise you, especially when you look at this clear bottle right here. You don't think it does much, but man, it is has some fig and some orange blossom in there. There's some geranium. So these old school fragrances have not old school, but older fragrances have a lot of notes in them. This one was always a solid performer, really good performer. So if you have it, get your nose on it, but don't drop $150 on it. Please don't do that. Don't come down my row after you do that. You've been warned. I wouldn't do that. Okay, next one on my list here. Another good one that not too many people talk about. This is Guess. This is Seductive. Homme. This is blue, and Yes, it's a solid fragrance. It's not the best of fragrances, but it's for that affordable price tag, it has some citruses and some peppers as it opens up. You'll get some of the cardamom. This one right here kind of has a little bit of a sea vibe. As you see the blue bottle here, kind of has those sea accords in there. So you're gonna get a little bit like you're walking on the beach, but not. You're more kind of playing in the sand. There's a freshness to it. You're gonna get some cashmere woods in here as well. A little bit of a creaminess as it warms down, but these are just fresh fragrances, right? So those notes, all these notes I'm listing, even with the citruses, they're all in the background. It's more of that aromatic freshness to it, but more of one that you wear maybe to the beach or walking close to a beach. That's the vibe you get on that one. Okay. Then this one I've newer to my collection. I've mentioned this one most recently. This is by Lattafa, and this is Fakar Black, and that's the bottle here. This is kind of that YSL type of DNA, so it's if you like that, it can be a little synthetic in the opening, but as you let it develop, you'll get that nice apple and bergamot. So apple, it's mass appealing. You can't, who doesn't like the smell of a fresh apple, right? You'll get some spices with that, a little bit of ginger in there. I believe there's some lavender comes out on here, and with this one, and even maybe some pininess from the juniper berries. You're gonna get that in here. A little bit of a sweet herb in there as well. Some tonka as it dries down. So it's a solid fragrance, I think, for the price that you're paying. If you like that kind of a mall-y, smell like Macy's style, get your nose on that one. Then we're gonna get a little bit of a throwback here, and this one is by Shan John. This is Unforgivable. What a throwback type fragrance right here. Yeah, this one is still around, still hanging in there. It has. Yeah, definitely still hanging in there, right? Got the citruses. It has some of those tangerine type of accords in there, some opening, but definitely has that lavender. You know how those old school fragrances do, lavender in there. But this one kind of goes more of that iris. You're gonna definitely get a lot of that iris in there. Nice solid iris accord. And then some tonka and some sandalwood as it dries down. So just a solid fragrance for such a cheap price. I don't know what it is. I'll leave a link, but I think when I got it, it was more like in the $15 range. So for the price, it's okay. Then the next one on the list here is one that a lot of people like, and this is Masani Wave. Masani Wave, right? Not really my speed of fragrance, but it still smells good. Definitely get a lot of the sea accords, as you can see with the name. Yeah, you get all those sea accords. So if you like going to the beach, you're gonna get the citrus and the mandarin in the background, but those sea vibes, you're gonna get a little bit of lavender in there. Definitely, you can always that. So these fragrances can last, and these fragrances are not, they last, because especially if they have lavender in there, it seems like lavender just really carries a fragrance. You're going to get some sweet herb from the clary sage in there, and some rosemary. So you get those earthy nuances too. A little bit of a rosiness to this one. Maybe some oak moss and some vetiver in there. So just a solid, mass appealing blue type fragrance. So if you like that speed, this one is the one to get your nose on. Not really for me. I don't wear it that much, but I think I can see why people wear it. Let's put it that way. Okay, next one on the list here is by Fragrance World, and this is Imperium, right here by Fragrance World. As you see here, this one right here is kind of in that has that creative vintage fresh. Just if you like fresh, these are just fresh. I mean, they have they're aromatic. It has that Creative Ventus type of family. Maybe maybe a little bit of that gray vetiver from Tom Ford, or mixed with a little bit of Bleu de Chanel, so kind of like that. So mass appealing. You'll get the bergamot and the grapefruit, and the you know, the vetiver is definitely in there. So there's some I think some juniper berries in there, so a little bit of that, those nuances to it. Some leathery notes. These last, man. These last. These fragrances will last, and they'll leave a scent trail. So you got to be careful with some of these. Overspraying them, I think it could be a little bit much for me. But they're very standard. You know, I'm wearing cologne. You know, I smell like a, you know, Macy's, like I just came from Macy's. Like that's kind of the vibe that all these fragrances have. This is next one on the list here. It's one of the ones I just really enjoyed. This one surprised me. Black Walnut by Banana Republic. Black Walnut. You know, this one right here really surprised me. Wasn't expecting much. Yeah. Oh boy, just feeling the room. This is really good. This has a nice the unique thing about this one, it has a kumquat accord, which is kind of a sweet and sour fruit type of vibe. It has some peppers, and you're gonna get some incense in here as it gets into the mids, and you'll get even maybe some patchouli in there, so some of that sweet, a little sweet patchouli, maybe some little hints of leather in the background. You know, of course it opens up. It's gonna have that bergamot in there as well. You know that. But man, just this one has always done a solid job. Maybe not as strong as a performer. This one may be only in that 3 or 4 hour range, so you have to reapply. But just surprised me with the uniqueness of this fresh fragrance. So that's a good one right there. Get your nose on. And then, last but not least, and this one's really not quote unquote a fresh fragrance, but I just wanted to list it. Jaguar Classic Gold. I listed it before at the end of another one of my videos recently because it's a $12 fragrance, and it's just, it does have a freshness to it, but it's more of an apple, lime, bergamot, but old school twist to it. It has this teak wood accord, which is kind of a sweet mossy wood, and you're gonna get the vanilla and the patchouli, a lot of vanilla and patchouli, and a dry down, little orange, hints of orange blossom, but it's just kind of a throwback, a classic. It's like a classic, clean, classic, old school vibe. Man, I can't speak highly enough. Probably the best fragrance for the cheapest price that I've ever paid, for 12 bucks. And it's in that range, so don't go out and spend a bunch of money on this, but man, good solid fragrance. Get your nose on that. And so I think that's it. I've ran through some fresh fragrances. You know, I typically don't talk about a lot of fresh blue fragrances, but I thought I listed some in my collection that if you all want to get your nose on, those are the ones I would suggest, especially since they're mostly affordable. Hope you all like these videos. This is Marvin Preaching Sense. Like and subscribe. Catch you all in the next video.